And we are still trucking along. Hello, I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary. It's time for the weekly vlog. Well, I guess semi-weekly. Depends on the mood, I guess. I did get a new monitor, so the camera's up a little bit higher than normal, but I think it looks okay. And my selfie light is still freaking bright. So we have a few viewer comments to go through today, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns yourself, you can always hit me up on social media, or you can use the contact form on WriterSanctuary.com's website. Now, before we get started, if you can hit the like button and help the channel out, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do so to get informed of any time I upload these videos. So let's get started with some comments. The first comment today comes from Dr. Diana Brain, and I thought the recaps would be easy. Do Textbroker editors use Copyscape when reviewing your work? Yes, I like the thumbnail. Let's just do the video that I made about doing recaps in Textbroker and how you can get flagged for plagiarism. Now, I'm not exactly sure what system they use, but since Copyscape is linked to the Textbroker client account, I assume so. And unfortunately, with a lot of recaps, sometimes you get hit with false positives, and nowadays Textbroker editors will get on to make sure that you're not really copying and that it is a false positive. But I'd rather err on the side of caution and just work to make sure that the Copyscape can't flag it at all. Thank you for the compliment on the thumbnail. I tried something fun, and I looked kind of dorky doing it. The next comment comes from Diana again. Thanks for keeping the 20-minute video on your back burner. For clarification, typing speed is not the issue for me. My word per minute is 80. Nor do I have a problem finding information. It's more so my mentality and being a perfectionist. I can spend hours thinking about how to write something, which words to use, the most logical sentences, orders, etc. Also, I spend a lot of time reading what I've written, probably more times than necessary, to ensure it's error-free. All of these habits really slow me down as a writer. I wonder if anyone else struggles with this. And I can say that I definitely did. In the very beginning, I tried to make sure that everything was as perfect as possible, and it does. It slows you down. In fact, that was one of the biggest things I think I had to work through, was trying not to be so much of a perfectionist and trying my best not to be like the best writer on the planet, because most clients, that's not what they're looking for. They want something quality that they can use. And most of the time, they're going to edit your stuff anyway. But once you get out of your own head and you're able to proofread once and trust that it's correct, then you'll cut your time down quite a bit. The next comment comes from somebody I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name. I apologize profusely. Isn't writing for clients equal for writing for Textbroker? I thought you can communicate with them only through TB if they found you there. And yes, I probably in the live stream didn't differentiate between having private clients and Textbroker clients. And with Textbroker clients, there's a messaging system in Textbroker that you can communicate back and forth. You have to be pretty careful though. You don't want to slip any non-anonymous information. And yeah, so that there's only one way that on Textbroker for clients and writers to communicate is through that messaging system. But once you start getting private clients, then it doesn't really matter. And I think I brought up both in that video, so I can see why I probably confused you, and I apologize. But there's a huge difference between private clients and Textbroker. The next comment comes from Diana again. For me, it was that easy. Not everyone's going to have such a great time writing like I did. I'm just really good at what I do. I was just super fast and really good at what I do. LOL, seriously though. Thank you so much for putting together this video and sharing your tips. This was just what I needed to hear. Keep up the good work, man. This was the video that I did recently about how to do a Textbroker order inside 20 minutes. And it does make me feel bad because I was hoping that I could share some kind of great insight to help you succeed, but literally in that video, that's all I ever did. I was just naturally, well, not to toot my own horn, but I was really that good. Now, I did streamline down the process, and I left those tips in that video. And like the biggest one was getting the second monitor to make sure that I can write and research at the same time without having to switch back and forth, and getting out of my own head like I mentioned earlier. And once you start finding out your processes and you start seeing what areas slow you down, then you'll definitely come up with your own strategy on how to do a 20-minute order on your own. But there was nothing fancy to it. I didn't do any secret tricks or any kind of copying editing tools. I just copied what I researched, threw it in the order, and wrote. It was super easy, barely an inconvenience. And yes, I am a fan of Ryan George. The next comment today comes from the Kay and Adam Show. Hi Michael, good information again. I clicked on the video quickly. For me, I've listened to YouTube videos on the subjects I write about. I turn on the voice typing feature in Google Docs and it records the video presentations, although not perfectly. I go over the information and start writing. Because I already have text typed up, I sometimes rewrite it so that there's no plagiarism. This method has helped me a lot. And when I replied in the video, I kind of misunderstood what the comment was, I thought you were using voice to text for yourself, and that is what I've seen a lot of people do before, is using voice to text technology to talk out an article, and then it'll type it and then go through and edit, which I guess you can probably do the same thing. But when you do it like that, you gotta be really careful, because then you're using other people's content, and you can rewrite it to make it sound like it's unique, and it's probably a really good way to do it. Kinda. I don't know, it's kind of a gray area for me, only because it's based on something that somebody else wrote. But if you think of it this way, it's really not much different than what I do when I go through a blog and skim through someone else's article to pick out the information that I need. So I guess it's kind of similar to just doing research on the internet and just use YouTube to record it. That's kind of an ingenious idea, actually. And if you use something like Copyscape, the compare tool, to compare your article against the transcript of the video, make sure that your plagiarism check is pretty low, I guess you can probably get quite a bit of information out of it. That'd probably streamline quite a bit. Just make sure that you're really careful about using other people's stuff, though. And the last comment today comes from Blair Groove. Hello, Michael. I recently got promoted to level 4, and I'm anxious to do my first level 4 order. Kindly advise me on how to succeed as a level author. Well, like I commented in that video, you gotta be real careful, because when I got my level 4, I got full of myself, and I wasn't really paying attention, and I didn't really put in the same quality. I lost my 4-star in 3 days. I got it back after a few months later, and I've had it ever since, but those 3 days were, I don't know what happened. I just kind of lost it on myself. So don't think for 1 second that you can't lose it, because when you're not thinking that way, that's when you wind up losing your 4 stars. And secondly, just keep practicing doing what you do. If you got level 4, the editor saw that there was quality behind your work, so just keep doing whatever it takes to keep your quality up. I would practice on my blogs. I would write for I wrote a couple of articles for Vocal Media. Mostly it was for my blogs though. I'd pretend like I would get an order from a client, and I would find a keyword that they wanted to use. Technically it'd be me. And then I would write out the article and post it on my blog. But no matter how you slice it, you just keep your skills up and keep practicing. So if you need help with anything, you can always leave a comment down below or on any video that I have, or hit me up on social media or the contact form that I mentioned earlier. I'm more active on Twitter most of the time, but I have been known to jump on Facebook and help people out. So if you need me there, feel free. So I'm more than 2 weeks into my experiment with michaelbrockbank.com on blogging every day, and obviously the page views have increased quite a bit. In fact, over the chunk of time, they've increased by 100%. Of course, that's the difference between 37 page views and 74, so I'm not really doing cartwheels, but I guess it's an improvement. The time on page has dropped dramatically, which I'm not really sure what that's all about, but it is what it is. The bounce rate went down, which means people are actually exploring the site, which is a good thing. But what I think is interesting is where the people are coming from. Now, according to Google Analytics, the majority of people are direct and none. What that means is that Google has no idea where these people came from. Some systems are set up to where they don't offer referral information, so it could have been from anywhere. Then in the number 2 spot, T.co, that is Twitter. I'm way more active on Twitter, which is probably why I get more people that will visit the site. Then we got 4 from organic traffic from Google, 3 from YouTube, 2 from WriterSanctuary, 1 from Facebook, and 1 from LinkedIn. And I'm not expecting like any kind of massive influx of people, but I think it's interesting on how some people explore the site more thoroughly than others, depending on where they come from. Like if you look at WriterSanctuary.com, we got 3.5 pages per session, which means on average, anybody that comes from WriterSanctuary will view 3.5 pages of michaelbrockbank.com, which is kind of odd since I really don't have a lot of content on it, but it is what it is. But it is kind of cool to see the impact of what blogging for 2 weeks straight every morning has done for the website. And it's not like a super amount of traffic coming in, which I kind of figured because, well, there's only like 20 or so articles on it. I'm really looking forward to is doing the same experiment on the Green blog. And then I want to do it for the other blogs that I have, like Writer Sanctuary, Crossing Colorado, and Colorado Plays, because I want to see what kind of an impact blogging for 30 days makes on different niches. And yeah, I can look it up and probably Google it. The problem is that most experts online take their information from an average, which means it's the information spanning across every industry. So what works for one website isn't going to work for all of them. Like one of my biggest gripes is how experts will say that you need 2,200 words to appear in the first page on Google on #1 spot. And actually, I've seen articles there that have less than 300. It all depends on the topic and what people are searching for, which is why the average thing comes in. Don't get me wrong, some of the experts' advice is a good place to start, but you still want to create a blog that surrounds your traffic, your audience, not theirs. And Monday, I'm doing a live stream. I think we're going to work on the Green blog live on Monday. We're going to set up some content and get the author plugins done and make it look nice and get ready to do some content and make some money. This is all through WordPress, so you get to see how I go through and find plugins for WordPress and how to install them and set them up. So I think that'd be kind of fun. And if you want to stop by and ask me pretty much anything, it doesn't have to be centered around the Green blog. You can ask me about freelance writing or Textbroker or anything else, so it's okay. So I think that's going to wrap things up here. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos covering Textbroker, freelance writing, WordPress, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's going to do it for me this week. Have a safe weekend. I'll see you on Monday.